How's everyone doing? It's Halloween time, and I absolutely love Halloween. It brings me back to my childhood memories of trick-or-treating, haunted houses, costume parties, and of course, scary movies. And I absolutely love scary movies, and especially horror movies in general, but what better time to watch scary movies than around Halloween? So in this video, I'm going to be talking about what movies scared me the most, and I want to know what movies scared you the most as well. Leave me a comment down below. Now, the runner-up for the movie that scared me the most was The Exorcist, and I expect this movie is going to be on a lot of people's list, and for good reason. I saw this movie for the first time when I was a little kid, and it completely freaked me out for a long time after that. And that spider walk scene definitely creeped me out. That's just so unnatural. Who does that? The Exorcist is an all-time classic, and it definitely scared the heck out of me when I was younger. Now, the number one movie that scared me the most isn't your typical horror movie that you would expect. It's Fire in the Sky, which is an alien abduction movie, and I saw it for the first time when I was 14, and it freaked me out. I wasn't able to watch it again up until just a couple of years ago. It was the first time I was actually brave enough to watch it again. That movie just haunted me for a long time. It's a movie that I will never forget. And Fire in the Sky stars D.B. Sweeney, James Garner, Craig Sheffer, Robert Patrick, Peter Berg. Just a fantastic cast and an incredibly atmospheric and creepy movie. Some of the scenes that really stand out for me in Fire in the Sky were the scenes where D.B. Sweeney's on the alien ship and he's being dragged through the ship and then thrown on the operating table and operated on. And then when you see the aliens, just incredibly creepy. So Fire in the Sky was the number one movie that scared me the most. Now let's hear from some of my friends and see what movies scared them the most.
The film that scared me the most was The Ring. This was the first time I've seen anything like a demon face. So the moment when they open up the closet and you see like the girl with the twisted face turn around, I've been scared shitless of these movies ever since.
The scariest movie I've ever seen was House on Haunted Hill. Just the way the cameras are tweaking back and forth and you get these victims just like wrapped in like tight spots, just like underwater. And ever since then I've been freaked out about insane asylums. I just can never go to one.
I hope you don't.
Yeah. Scariest movie for me is The Exorcism of Emily Rose. I really have a hard time watching based on true story possession ones, and watching that movie and then waking up at 3 a.m. and being like, man, is my clock gonna turn to 3:01? Because I really hope it does. That scared the hell out of me.
The movie that scared me most has to be Candyman. Clive Barker is an absolute genius. Tony Todd is unbeatable as Candyman. Between the bees and the very scary real-world setting of the Project Cabrini Green, absolutely terrifying. The Philip Glass score gets to me every single time I press play. Not to mention I saw it in my dad's old school 70s kind of shaggin' wagon van with mirrored ceilings at the drive-in. Looking up after seeing that movie, trying not to say Candyman, utterly terrifying.
And the movie that has scared me the most is The Exorcist. And in general, anything that involves
demonic possession
scares the crap out of me. And secondly, the amazing special effects makeup job that Dick Smith did.
Hi guys, Spooky Astronauts here. The movie that scared me the most has to be hands down Martyrs. Terrifying. Terrifying is the moment when that woman who's got like that plate, that metal plate on her, and she's just, her blood is just ripping down and she's crawling along the bathroom floor or whatever the hell it is. Oh my god, I can't even live. That is so terrifying and has kept me up so many nights, and I'm actually really scared because I'm home alone right now.
Hey guys, it's your Princess of Darkness here, Ashley. This all stems back to my childhood. My favorite aunt would take me to a small video store in our town, and one weekend I remember we found an unusual video box, and I'll try to insert a picture of it right here. It's about these children in a small rural town. They essentially go missing and later begin to kill adults, like their parents and things. And you later find out they've become part of this cannibalistic cult. Yeah, they live in the woods and they just kill and eat people. Cannibalism, that's what disturbs me the most. I mean, child cannibals that kill their parents. Disturbing as fuck.
Hey guys, the movie that scared me the most is the original 1976 Carrie. Why? Because her crazy abusive mother. Also, the prom scene when she's getting her revenge done scared me so much. I was a teenager then, and after that I was like, I'm done. I'm not gonna watch any more scary movies. And I also learned one thing: don't bully anyone.
The Exorcist, definitely the scariest movie of all time. I watched it when I was 8 years old. It impacted my childhood greatly, terrified me, and I think just, you know, the reason it's the scariest movie of all time is because of Like, the idea of exorcism is so terrifying, and this movie just does it perfectly. And yeah, Reagan still haunts my nightmares today.
So for my scariest horror film, I'm going to have to go with the underrated The Mothman Prophecies. It's a very creepy, atmospheric film. It has Richard Gere, Laura Linney, and Deborah Messing. Richard Gere's wife in the film, something happens to her involving the Mothman, you know, creepy red eyes. And you know, he gets involved in all these like premonitions and stuff that's going on, tries to figure out what's happening. And I'll always remember those scenes where, you know, Richard Gere punches the door, and you see, you know, in the mirror when the Mothman's looking at him. And then as well as when Richard Gere's on the phone, and he's like, you know, what do I have in my hand? And you hear the Mothman on the other side, chapstick. Done.
The movie that really scared me the most, mostly as a child, was definitely Pet Sematary. I mean, Zelda, do I need to say any more? But now that I'm an adult, the movie has actually become one of my favorite horror movies, so it didn't scare me for too long.
The movie that scared me the most and why definitely has got to be David Cronenberg's The Fly. Like, I remember when I was a kid watching this movie, I saw a little snippet of it and I was like, oh, this looks kind of interesting. And then I told my parents and they're like, no, you have got to see that movie. And I sat down and I watched it, and it's a combination of sort of like the slow transformation into the, like the fly and stuff. Like, at first it's kind of cool, you're following Jeff Goldblum. Like, the story in itself is very intriguing, but then the finale when he's dragging Gina Davis into one of the pods and he's like, oh, we're all gonna be united, and she tears off his jaw, and then he slowly starts breaking out into the fly. Like, one of the things visually for me as a kid, I remember watching that and I was just like terrified. And I say as a kid because that was the one movie that definitely really scared me and sort of put me in that situation where I was like, oh my god, I cannot believe that that is happening right now. And it was just something that was always stuck with me.
Well, it was a movie that I saw when I was the wee age of 30. That's right, the movie that scared me the most. Ju-on. Yeah, 30 years old, Ju-on scared the nuts out of me. Especially that scene where girl's being stalked and she's in her apartment and she's hiding under the sheets, and she turns on the TV and there's a newscaster, and the newscaster's talking, and all of a sudden you hear that Ju-on noise and the newscaster's face gets all distorted and crinkly and the TV shuts off. I pulled the blanket up over my head. Ju-on. Scariest movie I've ever seen.
Hey guys, I'm Dan from Reject Films, and the movie that scared me the most when I was a kid was the Nightmare on Elm Street films. Just the fact that you're not safe even when you sleep, and someone can come into your dreams and kill you in real life is just terrifying. And now I've grown to love them and really enjoy these movies, but yeah, that's what scared me the most.
The film that scared me the most, 1989 film, Flesh Eating Mothers. I remember watching it with my mom and her friend when I was about 8 years old. The thought of my mom or any other mothers being cannibals and trying to eat me scared the shit out of me. I actually bought the movie a couple years back and must have put it somewhere in the house. I can't find it, and thankfully, because I really don't think I'll ever want to watch it again. I just wanted to have it. Scary, scary movie. Ah.
The movie that scared me the most when I was a little kid was The Exorcist. That movie scared the bejeebies out of me. You know, when I was little, I ran in the living room, I was playing with my toys and stuff. My mom, she's watching a movie, and I'm like, looking at the TV, I'm like, Mom, what are you watching? And I look at the TV, and I see this little girl head spin. And I go, ah! And I take off, run out of the room, I'm like, oh my god. So, until this day, that movie still gives me the heebie-jeebies.
There are 3 films that absolutely terrified me. The first one is Oculus. The whole thing is terrifying, but that mirror and that ending, chilling. Orphan is absolutely fantastic as well. The character of Esther is just so crazy. I love her. And then The Visit is the third one, which is about 2 children who go to stay with their grandparents, and all kinds of mental things start happening. 3 of those, back to back, would be both my dream and my worst nightmare.
The horror movie that scared me most was probably Child's Play, because I watched it with a friend when I was like maybe 9 years old, and I was a total wuss as a kid. I don't know why I watched it with her, but it scared the hell out of me, and I was completely ruined for any kind of dolls for like a year.
The movie that scared me most as a kid was The Exorcist, because I watched it when I was 8, and I was just like, what the hell am I watching? This isn't Ninja Turtles. And it was that one scene, and it's only for a brief second, where it flashes that face right quick when she's first getting possessed. I was awake for a week. I'm not lying. 8 years old, I didn't sleep for a week. It's that scary. One flash, ruined.
The scariest movie that I've ever seen would have to have been Disney's Beauty and the Beast. What?
There's a girl who's stuck in a mansion with a big old hairy old beast man, and he's screaming at her for every single thing that she does. Hello?
Get out!
Nice flower.
Get out!
Talking candlesticks.
Get out! Get out!
Maybe I was just a weird kid, but you know what? It scared me a lot.
Those were some great scary movie choices, and I want to say thank you to everybody who was a part of this. You all rock. Definitely go check out their channels. I'll put the links down below in order of appearance. Check them out and subscribe. And let me know what movie scared you the most as well. Leave me a comment down below. Hope everyone's doing well, and have a happy Halloween, and go watch some scary movies.